Productivity without purpose means nothing. It truly means nothing at all. To say you're doing all these things, you're creating all these habits, but you have no end goal, you have no purpose towards any of it. It's the same thing as someone who's lazy and does the same thing over and over and just goes through the motions. You're going through the motions as well. You're just doing things that seemingly seem to be advancing you, but you don't know where you're advancing at all. Think about it. It's like if a plane takes off and it just decides to fly. It's great to fly, to be able to see things and explore the world. But at the end of the day, there needs to be a destination. There has to be an end goal, or else you fly aimlessly. You don't know you can fly and see beautiful things, but end up you crash in a forest, or you land in the middle of nowhere. You land in an ocean because you have no destination. And that's the same thing with life. If you don't have a purpose, you don't have an outline for what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do. And to all the people that are like, oh, but purpose can wait later in life and let me just have my fun and all that. Okay, waste your time. Waste your time. Waste all the years that you have, because you only have so many years. It's a limited amount. Um, go waste your time. Like, truly, if that's what you think, if you can wait to pursue purpose until later in life, you don't know what doors are supposed to be open. You don't know what God is supposed to do in your life. You don't know what blessings you're supposed to have, what people you're supposed to connect with. Like, all the things that you want in life, because you just want to delay it because you're like, I'm not ready for purpose yet. I want to be, immature. I want to have fun and do all of that. But you get lost in it and you end up years later and you're like, oh man, I really wish, I wonder what would have happened if I pursued that goal, if I really like set out to the purpose that God gave me. And it's like years later only that people realize this. It's why so many people that are middle aged, so many people that are in their mid to late 30s, they have so much regret. They live with so much regret and they're set up with families and all, and they're happy to have families. But at the same time, they always end up wondering, like, was there more? Was there more they could have done? Was there more they're supposed to amount to? Do you really want to live a life like that? Because you just want to go through the motions? You really just want to go through the motions of say, oh, I'm productive. Oh, sorry. And that's the thing that happens in the self-help space a lot as well. All the self-development and self-help up, and all the self-help. And it's truly amazing. I love this space. It's amazing. But there's so many young teens, especially guys. There's so many guys, young adults. And it's like everyone's just like, yeah, take a cold shower, go and work out for like 60 minutes a day. And those are great things. Working out is great. The cold shower thing, you do you. Like, I know there are all the health benefits or whatever. I personally don't do it. I tried it. It wasn't for me. But, you do all these cold shower things. You make these little like list of tasks you're supposed to do, but none of it has any purpose. It's not moving you towards anything at all. You take a cold shower, but you're just doing it because everyone else is doing it. And you're like, well, it's a productivity thing. It's, self-development. But what are you developing yourself into? What is your goal? Who's the person you want to be? Who's the person that you're trying to become? Is what you're doing lining up with the person you want to be? Is what all the habits that you're choosing that are quote unquote productive, are they setting you up to be the amazing person you want to be? If you want to if you want to be a healthy, fit, in shape person that has a family, a wife and kids, like, you really have to evaluate, or is everything you're doing, this quote unquote productivity, is it really helping you? Are you spending your time on the right things? Because we often get stuck in this loop. And I know, it's just talking from experience. It's so cool to say, oh, you know what? I woke up at 4 a.m. in the morning and I accomplished all these things before everyone was awake. And that's great. But were any of the things moving you forward? Were you just doing things just to do things? You're just doing random crap just to say, I checked off the list. I did all these things on my task list. But there's someone out there who's maybe doing like 3 or 4 tasks a day, but they're moving them forward. They're trying to start, a YouTube channel, and, they might do like 2 things. They might script and they record it that day. And you might have, You might have worked out, you did your cold shower, did your, your little Huberman wake up routine. No offense to or hate to Huberman, because those are great things. But you really have to evaluate for your own life. Are you doing things that are trying to train you up into who you're trying to become? Are you doing things just for the sake of doing it? Are you doing things for the sake of living a life of productivity? Because often with social media, everyone likes to romanticize, like, oh yeah, I got my coffee in the morning. I did this. This is my little self-care routine. This is all me, me trying to be productive, me like, getting the bag and all this stuff. But it's like, are you moving forward to anything meaningful? Are you moving to forward to anything that's providing value to others? What about, instead of just focusing purely on yourself, what about, what are you adding to this world? Is what you're doing leading you to providing value to others, to providing value to the world, helping the people around you, helping the people that help you get along to your journey? Is that what you're doing, or is everything just this vain idea of, self-development, as we're going to call it? Because I love self-development and I love self-help. Those things are absolutely important. That's literally a whole channel just dedicates to that. And all the advice I give on this channel as well is centered around that. But my guidelines is purpose. If you're not moving towards purpose, then you're not moving forward at all. You're just doing things that are meaningless at the end of the day. Like, truly, truly think about it. What are you doing? Like, when you make your checklist in the morning, are those things that are really helping you? Are they really advancing you? I want you to really think deeply. Like, pause the video if you even have to. Am I taking the steps necessary to become the person that I want to become? Think about it that way, instead of saying, oh, what do I need to do to get this career? No, stop thinking careers. Stop thinking the way school trained you to think, how society thinks makes you to think, like, oh, think of in the future like what you want to do rather than who you want to be. Because when you start fixating your mindset on, okay, who do I want to be? What is the purpose I'm trying to achieve? Who am I trying to help? When you focus on those things, like, it makes you have to lose a self of selfishness. You have to become selfless. You have to pour into others, which, eventually boosts society, and it helps you as well in return. But it's so much more meaningful rather than just doing things they're done in vain. They're meaningless. They're lost in the wind. What's the point of, you read all these books, you have all this wisdom, or quote unquote wisdom, but you do nothing with it. You might say, oh, I have this productivity. I read 50 pages every single day and I finish a book a week. Yeah, but have you done anything with that? Have you done anything with that knowledge? Have you applied it anywhere in your life? Have you taught people that same knowledge? Have you like translated anywhere? Is there any proof that you even read it? Because it's easy to say, oh yeah, I read the book. But what did you do with it? Like, nothing changed. You're telling me you read a whole book about habits. You said, oh yeah, post on my little story, I read a book about atomic habits and all that. And you're still doing all the same habits and nothing changed. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect and like, everything just snaps into place, but nothing at all. No development, nothing. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, we're so fixated on living our lives that we seem productive to everyone else, but it's in like reality, it's truly selfish and just in vain. You're just trying to prove yourself to everyone else, but you're not doing anything that's actually helping yourself. So stop living for others. Stop living this life of false productivity, because it's not truly productivity if you're not moving anywhere. Get that into your head. Truly, it's not productivity without purpose. So here's what I'm going to leave you with. The steps to really do productivity the right way. 1, you need to figure out your purpose. Really and truly figure out your purpose. And I know it's easier said than done. And it's a thing that's ever going to evolve. It's going to continue to grow as you get older. But really, I want you to get into a period of isolation. Get away from all the noise of everyone else. Maybe you need to do it for a few days. For me, I had to do it for like a good week and a half. Even just for my own family, just put myself in my room and just stop being influenced by everyone around you. Stop being influenced by your friends, your family, and people that might mean well, but not everyone can see the same vision that you have. There's a great quote I love by Myron Golden. I mean, not Myron Golden, sorry, Dr. Miles Monroe. And he says that God will give you a glimpse of your future. He'll give you a little vision of your future, but he won't show you the exact way to get it. He won't show you the exact path, all the steps necessary to get there. So that's really how life is. Like, you're gonna get a glimpse of the future. Jesus is gonna put things in your heart. He's gonna give you a little glimpse of the future of like what's in store for you. But he's not gonna show you everything on how to get there. Because if you were shown like what it takes to get there, you would never want to do it probably. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to go through that. No way. I'd just rather stay the same. So get into a period of isolation and really, really lock in with your relationship with God. Pray and just spend time really like leaning in, like learn, like just think deeply, like really get into a period of time where you're just focusing on God and really deeply, deeply, deeply getting to things to in the root of your mind. What are things that you're passionate about? What are things that you can add value to? What are your skills? What are your talents? What are things that spark this passion inside of your heart? Because I can tell you what, those things have a reason. Those things are going to lead to your purpose. God isn't going to put something within your heart. He isn't going to make you passionate about something without it leading to your purpose. Like for me, I've always loved speaking to people. I've always been empathetic. And, I've been an extrovert. I love talking with people. And that's just a skill. Like I naturally am able to articulate myself really well. And yeah, that's just how I am. And that's something I've always been passionate about, like just meeting with people, getting to know their story, and getting to speak with them. And another thing is cinematography and filmmaking, which it coincides with YouTube. That's I'm very skilled with. I've made a bunch of short films before for school. I've made promotional stuff and different things like that. Those are skills and talents that I have, and things that God made me passionate about that leads to a greater purpose. Like sometimes you have little pieces and parts that lead you to your purpose. So find your purpose. Next, set up goals. Goals in 12 weeks. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. You can go onto my channel where I talk about how to work in silence and do more in 12 weeks. It's all a part of the 12-week year. Go to my channel. I have a whole video describing exactly how to break that down. But the whole premise is you set your year up into 12 weeks. So that's about 3 months. You set a goal for those 12 weeks. You set goals for those 12-week periods. And then a goal for that for each month in that 12-week period. So that leads to the 12-week goal. And then goals for each week that lead to that goal for the month, which lead to the goal for the 12 weeks. And then habits and goals every single day that you achieve that lead to the week, that lead to the month, and lead to the 12 weeks. And then by the end of the year, you achieve so much. And when you have 12 weeks, that's 3 months. So that's 4 periods during the year where you're able to go learn and correct. If you know you didn't achieve a goal, okay, it's time to fine tune, tweak, and make this systems better, because that's the problem. It's the systems and not necessarily the goal that's the problem. And that's what you have to do. You set that up and then you'll be good. And then once you find those habits, when you find those goals, then you're truly going to be able to have actual productive productivity. That's the goal. Have productive productivity, not meaningless things, not things just going through the motion just for the sake of posting on Instagram, making your little reels or little TikToks that, like realistically, everything that you're doing that's supposed to build up into who you want to become, not everything's going to look all sexy. Like that's a complete lie. I kind of hate that part about social media. Like I love that we can make it look good, but at the same time, not everything is gonna look good. Like things are gonna struggle. Those nights where you have to stay up and you have to work hard when no one else is looking. Those are the things that are building your character. Those are the things that aren't gonna look nice. Those are the things that all these top leaders. That's why people like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and like all these different successful people, not even just those people, but like athletes and all these different famous people, and they work hard. And it's like you don't see that part because that part doesn't look cool to showcase that. It doesn't look cool to say, oh yeah, I stayed up like for a whole day and I was editing a video. Or it doesn't look cool to say that, oh yeah, my computer was overheating and it was giving me problems. And yes, I'm talking about myself right now. And it doesn't It doesn't look cool to say, oh yeah, I was up and I was planning and strategizing for this basketball strategy. You think Michael Jordan, like you think like people want to hear that, oh yeah, I was studying all these different things, I was looking at these clips, you know, like no one wants to hear about that because it doesn't look as cool, it doesn't look as sexy, it doesn't look as amazing and all cool and cinematic, like, oh, my day in the life, my little productivity morning routine. But you have to embrace those parts. That's what true productivity is. It's moving you towards purpose. It's moving you towards a goal. Because if you're not moving towards a goal, you're being left behind. You're not moving anywhere in life, you're falling behind. Because as I state in another video, life is like a current. It's constantly moving. Time is the factor that's always moving within your life. If you don't move, you're going to be left behind. Time is going to continue going and you stay stagnant. Everything is moving past you. But if you continue to move, even if you're doing slow motion is better than no motion. Quote from Siobhan Salmon. If you move at least slowly, then you're at least staying on top of things. You're at least making progress. But if you stay stagnant, you're falling behind. It's either moving forward or you're falling behind. There's no in between. You can't stay stagnant in life because everything advances. Time is going by. We all have a limited time on earth. Like we all want to say that, oh, we have we'll live to 100, we'll live to 80 and all these things, but you're not guaranteed that. Life is the next day is not guaranteed to any man on earth. You could unfortunately pass away tomorrow and you would just not know that. There are people who don't wake up the next day. Like truly think about that. Like nothing is guaranteed in this life except for death. So if you really want to move forward, you have to choose to make forward. It has to be a conscious decision. You can't just let things happen. Things aren't just gonna fall into your lap. But that's why productivity is important. But you have to do it with purpose. With purpose. Anything done without purpose in your life is meaningless. There has to be purpose in everything. And I know everyone on the culture wants to say, just enjoy moments, which is absolutely amazing. It's true. You have to learn to enjoy moments and different things and just live in the moment in certain situations. But at the end of the day, things do have to have a purpose as well, because even when you enjoy the moment, when you live in the moment, that purpose, it's, building memories, building memories, building connections, building relationships with the ones you love, building things that will last forever. That's still fulfilling a purpose. But when you just do things just to do it, when you do things for others, you're trying to live a life where it's all impressing others. That's a life of vanity. That's a life to where you'll feel empty. You feel unsatisfied. You feel like there's always something missing, like you could do more. And you don't want to live a life like that. So, to summarize it all, move with purpose. Move with purpose. Productivity is nothing without purpose. Find your purpose, align with it, set up the goals, set up the systems, and you'll be good for life.